Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's meeting regarding the lead service line replacement for the 2022 private side replacement pilot project. Thank you very much for taking time out of your schedules tonight to spend some time with us to learn more about the project. And so we'll go through the introductions for the folks that are on the panel for this evening. And I will start off with myself. My name is Daryl King. I represent the city of Evanston as its water production bureau chief with the city. So I manage and oversee the water utility here in Evanston. And I'll pass it on to the next person.
This is John Meyer with CDM Smith. I am an engineer working on this project with the city in conjunction with the city staff.
Good evening. I'm Bernice Alvarez with Moriali Communications. We are facilitating the public and stakeholder engagement and communications for this project. Okay, well, thank you again for joining us tonight. We're going to go through some housekeeping items. We are excited to host this public meeting. All attendees will be off video for the duration of the meeting and on mute for most of the meeting. We will have a Q&A session near the end. Questions will be answered in the order that they were received. So you can actually start to send your questions through the chat at any point during this meeting, and then someone from our team is keeping track of them as they're coming in. You will also have an opportunity to unmute and share your question with the team. That is whether you're joining us through your desktop or your phone, you'll have an opportunity to unmute and ask your question. The questions and information that was shared during this meeting will be posted on the lead service line website following the meeting. Links and documents will also be shared in the chat. And then there will also be a QR code and polls to engage with through your phone and tablet will be shared later on during this presentation. And then finally, if you encounter any technical issues, please message us in the chat and we will do our best to address your concerns.
So we'll go over tonight's agenda. We've done our introductions. We've talked about, or we'll talk about more about the 2022 private side replacement pilot, and we'll go into more details with that. And so the private side led service line replacement initiative, you know, the program, the benefits, how do I participate, concerns, questions received during the FAQ distribution. There will be interactive live polling, and to wrap things up, of course, a questions and answer period. And so let's go over the overview of the 2022 private side replacement pilot project. And so if you have a phone, you can pull out your smartphone and scan the QR code, and that will give you an A to Z breakdown of a complete overview of the 2022 lead service line replacement pilot project. I would encourage you to scan that and spend some time after tonight's event, especially to go over the information that's on that website. The city has created its own webpage that covers all of the details regarding this project. And if you don't have a smartphone, you can just go to evanstonleadreplacement.org. That's evanstonleadreplacement.org, and you can also access that website to get that information there as well. And so continuing on with the overview, the lead service line replacement will include the homeowner portion private side of the replacement. So previously, in these areas where we'll be doing this pilot, the city has already come through, done water main work, replaced the city-owned portion. As you can see in this illustration, the city-owned portion has been replaced with copper, and so the homeowner owned portion, the brown area, that's the portion from the parkway valve going into the house. That's the portion of this project that will be replaced. So the private side replacement is voluntary, for those who live at a property identified to be included in the 2022 private side replacement project. And although it's a voluntary process and project, we would encourage you to get all of the information that you can, ask all of the questions that you can, even after tonight, and just put yourself in a position to make a quality decision to whether or not you want to participate or not. And so this map here, you can also access on, scanning it with the QR code on your phone. And this map breaks down the pilot location map. So those areas that are highlighted in red indicate where this work will begin, or what's the areas that will encompass where this work will begin and end. And so I would encourage you to scan the QR code to also access this pilot location map, so that you can just get a better picture of where the work will be going on in your area.
Okay, thank you, Daryl. So we're going to kind of get into a little bit more of the detail now. The project summary is shown here. The disturbed lead service line, those that are cut or otherwise disturbed, are now required by law to be removed. Your participation is being sought only if you have a lead service line on your property. As I mentioned, state laws required. Objective of the private side lead service line replacement project is to remove lead service lines from the city of Evanston's distribution system. The project is voluntary, and we're going to go through that when we go over the overall process. But the big picture is the project's voluntary and based on a first come, first served basis. How does this impact you? The city's paying the cost for the new lead water service to your home and exterior restoration. This is a value of $8,000 to $10,000 per service replaced. There's no guarantee that the city will pay for future lead service line replacements. The funds are available now for this year's program. Lead service line replacement will require the contractor to perform work inside homes and on private property. The benefits are the removal of the lead service line, reduced exposure to lead, and a new water service paid for by the city. Some water services are fairly old. You don't know their exact condition. With this program, you'd be updating your water service and know that in 2022, 2023, that service was installed. So, it's a new service. And as this is one of the first lead service line replacement projects for the city, you'll be helping the city to streamline the process for future programs. All input is appreciated so we can continue to expand and grow these projects to replace lead service lines within the city. So how do I participate? The main item you need to do is sign the right of entry form. But if you have additional questions and you don't want to ask them during this webinar, you can also ask on an individual basis by emailing Melody at the email shown, by dialing 311, or emailing water cityofevanston.org. So if you have specific needs, issues that you're not seeing discussed or presented here today, and you don't feel like you really want to ask in a public forum, please use one of those options. But to participate, just sign the right of entry, email that signed copy to the City of Evanston with your contact name, email address, and phone number, and that'll be dated. Again, it's first come, first serve with available funding. So the group that first come, first serve that meets what the contract value is, they'll get their lead service lines replaced. The remainder will be kept in a database for future programs. So after you send in the right of entry or ROE, a representative will schedule coordinated time for a home inspection of the meter area. That is to just get pictures. Your address won't be shared. It won't be made public, but at least it gives the contractor who's going to bid on the project an idea of the interior of your home for pricing purposes. And it allows city representatives to enter your home to determine if you have a lead service line and where your water meter is located. So this is the process that I mentioned earlier. So the right of entry starts you into the process. So we receive the right of entry and you enter. If we don't receive a right of entry, that is basically saying that the homeowner is not wanting to participate in this program. So if we get the right of entry, a city representative will schedule an inspection to verify there's a lead service line. We do have to schedule to get it into your home, and we try to be as accommodative as possible to do that. So sometimes it could be, a couple weeks out based on your schedule. And then again, that's to document where everything's located for the documents that will go for bid to get contractor pricing. So then the contract will be awarded in the fall, and then the contractor will schedule a call to meet with the homeowner and let you know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to remove this bush. Your new service line is going here. There's this issue. We have to remove a little drywall, maybe some flooring, whatever it is. The contractor will specifically lay out the work items that will be done. At that meeting, the homeowner has a second chance to decide to continue forward with the program and agree to participate or decline to participate. There's no cost if, at that time, if you do decline to participate. It's just, you're just removed from this program, and obviously you have a chance to participate in future programs. So the homeowner agrees to participate, then the contractor will then schedule a time to perform the work. Generally, it's done in a day, and we'll get into some timeframes later. Done in a day, with restoration coming after the lead service line replacement. And but the actual replacement is done in a day, generally, unless there's some unique circumstances. Next slide. So this is what the right of entry looks like. It's on the website, and then we'll be putting one in the chat here. Sign the right of entry to allow city representatives to enter your home. The right of entry also allows future work inside your home by the contractor. Again, as public service, we usually don't go on private property. So this is a document you'll typically not see when work is being done in the roadway. But because we're going on your private property, we need to show that the homeowner is consenting for us to do that work. And again, the city must receive the mailed or emailed signed copy of the right of entry. So we did a FAQ distribution, and we received some concerns, questions. So we wanted to share them with everyone on the call today. And so these are some general things that we heard. So, is the city paying for replacement of the lead water service line? Yes. the city is paying for the partial service line. That's from your B box to your home. Now, if you're calling in today and you're on the blocks that Daryl showed at the beginning of this call, you have your water service was replaced up to your service valve in the parkway. So you already have a copper line there. If you have a lead line into your home, that lead line is what we're replacing today from the service line into the home, that orange piece of pipe that Daryl showed. So that partial service line is really completing the replacement of the lead service line that has been partially done. So it's replaced at no additional expense to the participating property owner. The city is also paying for restoration outside the home to agreed upon conditions. That's when the contractor comes, they're going to say what they're going to do. They say how they're going to restore. Those are the agreed upon conditions that will be documented. And so those agreed upon conditions, once the line is operational and tested. So the city is not paying for interior restoration. That's replacement of drywall, replacement of floor tiling. The disturbed area is kept to a minimum, and the disturbed area, the dimensions and everything are laid out with the property owner during that initial inspection with the contractor. So you'll know ahead of time. But again, it's not this is not a program to tear up your whole basement. It's very restricted work space in your basement, typically in your basement. I wish to participate in the program. What do I do? Sign the right of entry and send the copy to the city of Evanston. Upon receipt, a city representative will contact you to enter your home to see where your water meter is and to confirm if you have or do not have a lead service line. So you can send that right, if you just go back, so you can send that right of entry if you have email access to water@cityofevanston.org, that address right there. I do not wish to participate in the program. What do I need to do? The city, again, the lead service line replacement is in its infancy. The law was signed into effect. So the city needs to abide by the law. So the city would like to understand and learn what are the specific concerns and questions that homeowners have, and really try to make the program better, because they are trying to replace lead service lines throughout the city. However, for this particular project, ultimately, if a homeowner refuses to participate, that is their own decision. How will this impact me if my house is currently for sale? As the current owner, you can still participate in the program and have the lead service line replaced. However, if you're planning to sell your house and you're aware that you have a lead service line, you're required to report it under residential real property disclosure, similar to lead paint. If there are concerns about disclosing this information, please communicate it directly with your real estate agent. I've already replaced my lead service line. Do I still need to take action? If you've already replaced your lead service line with copper, please verify that the city's current material inventory database indicates this, and the database can be found on this link. And if you find the information in the database is correct, please email the water@cityofevanston.org email. If you could sign the right of entry to allow the city representative to verify the information, that'll be great. It doesn't mean you're going to go into the program. It's just that that's a chance for us to verify visually to make the correction. How long will I be without water? The maximum duration under normal circumstances is 4 hours. You'll be given a 24-hour notice prior to service interruption. And this is a very typical 4 hours. As I mentioned, sometimes under unusual circumstances, it can go, things happen, but generally and typically it's a 4-hour duration. What is the official start date of the 2022 private side replacement project? The planned start date is fall of 2022 and will continue in phases into 2023 on a street-by-street basis as funding is available. Further details on the schedule will be provided in future newsletters. Addresses will be maintained of those that have applied for future programs. My meter's buried in the parkway. Do you need to enter my home? Yes. We need to determine if that portion of the water service from the meter to the home is lead or not. We'd like to work with the homeowner to move the meter inside of the home. Location of the installation. Again, when the contractor comes and says where the work's going to be performed, the final location of the new installation will be discussed with the homeowner before beginning the work.
Yeah, and so sign up for the project or future questions. The main points of contact are to call 311, of course, if in Evanston, or Melody Carvajal at 312-780-7746. Again, Melody Carvajal, 312-780-7746 to sign up for the program. You can also download the right of entry form from the chat, and there's a link for that. And for future questions after this meeting, you can also contact Melody or call 311 or 847-448-4311. Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to thank everybody for joining our virtual meeting this evening. We really appreciate you taking interest and taking time out, spend some time with us tonight. Again, if you have questions or if you have your right of entry form and you're ready to sign off on that and send it in, you can send that to water@cityofevanston.org. Again, we have a web page that provides all of the details about this pilot project at evanstonleadreplacement.org. And so yeah, we appreciate you coming out and spending time with us. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.